Hello everyone, Derek Stam Toys back with another action figure review. If you've seen the first two, well, you kinda knew this was coming, right? If you saw the unboxing, you kinda knew this was coming, right? We've got the Elite Series. I wanna say this was 98. I'm not exactly too sure, but I'm not gonna take my time to stop what I'm doing just to go research that up for 2 minutes. I know it was either 95 or like 98, one of the two, but either way, we've got the Elite Series 98 Biggie. Pretty excited about this one. I kind of do want to get the Biggie with the blue attire. I want to say that was 95. Just getting into this figure, man, honestly, just looking at the attire from back here, it looks really solid. But of course, we don't get into the figure first, we get into the accessories first. Of course, a little jumbled up. I didn't necessarily try to make it too neat. But we've got the open palm, I'm gonna slap you, chest choppy hands, whatever you want to call those hands. As MDT calls them, the Kawhi Leonard, I'm gonna shake your hand. I don't exactly remember all the little like things he says about those hands. Of course, he comes with a set of mic holding hands. He's got a set of fist hands as well. Those are already plugged into the figure though. And he comes with the custom side plate WWE title with the Big E side plates, Pretty cool belt. If you watched the Bobby Lashley review, you would know I swapped the front plate out with that. I think it kind of just looks a bit better with the custom side plates. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Of course, the seller did warn me that this belt is a little broken. I didn't think it was broken like that because I didn't necessarily see the back of the plate in the picture. But I think I might still be able to manage to fix it if I really wanted to. I don't know. It's whatever though. I'm not too worried. As I don't think when it comes to action figure photography, it'll matter too much as long as I pose it upright. But just to show you, this is the original plate that goes on to this belt, vice versa. So really cool plate right here. That's why I put it on a normal, like, standard Mattel side plate. If it would, I was about to say if it would focus, just because I still, at the end of the day, like the universal, like, side plates where anybody could wear the belt. The cool custom side plates are nice and all, but when it comes to figures who don't have the championship, but maybe you want to pose them up with the belt, what are you gonna do? Put the Big E side plate championship onto a Cody Rhodes, or onto a, well, now that he's back, maybe it'll happen, onto a CM Punk. It's whatever though, not the biggest ordeal. Let's get the accessories over here, and let's finally get into this Biggie figure itself. Of course, I kind of want to look at the head scan because I haven't really seen too many of these new ones in person, and man oh man, is it pretty damn good. That's why I didn't really point out too much when it came to the Bobby Lashley, because like the formula on that is pretty similar to the one I already have. So if I recall, I want to say I already reviewed that Bobby Lashley, the one in the gold I'm talking about. So I didn't really feel like breaking down articulation and stuff like that when it comes to it. But this is a whole updated formula Biggie. Of course, I do own a Biggie. It's just the, what was it, like Bootio's 3-pack Biggie. So the formula on it, maybe not the best. But this one I'm pretty excited for. Of course, I did play around with it before I did start reviewing it. So I kind of already know what my one gripe is with this figure in particular. Not saying it'll be an issue with everyone's, but it is kind of an issue with mine. I don't know if you notice, but here, it looks normal, right? But then when I bring up the other arm, there's like a little gap there. And no matter what I do, because see that, like, it's just pushing the arm in, it's not fully going in. So I'm assuming there's something in this shoulder. Maybe if I warm it up with like a hot water treatment, it'll kind of loosen up the way I need it to. But it's not really the biggest ordeal, not the biggest gripe. Getting into the attire itself, we've got a nice red, white, blue, and black attire here. Of course, I really love the blue in this attire. The red is nice. The black is, black. And the white is pretty nice and white. Whoever, I bought this from kept it in pretty well condition. Just a little nasty scuff mark there. I don't know if I can just casually take that away. I don't know if it's paint or not. Well, hope it's paint. Ooh. And the biggie doesn't want to stand because he's got weak knees and his arms are heavy. Thankfully, he doesn't have vomit on his sweater already. But you know what? Mom Spaghetti does sound pretty good. Anyways, the attire looks pretty damn good. I love the designing and, like, all the little shapes and intricate detail. There we go. Jeez, I can't speak tonight. I think it's because I might be trying to rush it a little too much. Let's just breathe. And look at some of these shoes, because these shoes, way different compared to the Big E boots on the One Elite. Of course, if you look over on the back boot, he's got the buckles chilling right there on the inside. And then he's got the Big E logo on both boots on the outside of the shoe. All white. Of course, this figure might just stain up after a while, but that's kind of why I want to get the all blue attire as well, because I feel like that would be perfect for the pick fed. It won't stain up as easy. Ooh, Jesus, I don't know where that came from. So, my apologies. But I don't know, like, if it's just my figures or if, like, everyone else who tends to get, like, some of the whiter, or, well, more white attires, some of them tend to, like, stain up fairly easy. Like, I have a Shawn Michaels with an all-white attire, and his pants just get incredibly dirty after a while, and I don't even have to touch him. He just sits in my crowd. Like, I picked him up the other day to move him in a different spot, and he just all gross looking on the tights. And I wiped it down, tried to, like, clean it up with a Q-tip and some water and stuff like that, and it just wasn't coming out easy. So, I don't know. The white attires are nice, though. It's just, hopefully, the plastic doesn't, like, stain too hard, and I can clean them up fairly easy. But, before I ramble on too much longer, why don't I get them all posed up for the final, like, thoughts? And we'll give our final thoughts about this Big E. Alright, well, now that I've got the Big E all posed up, I decided to throw the Lashley in there, get them both propped up with the belts, kind of have like a Cena Punk situation where it's like, who's the real world champion? Of course, also not going to reference the CM Punk Real World Championship situation there, because we'll never get a conclusion to that. But, speaking of a conclusion, I could see this happening in the pick fed at some point. Bobby Lashley and Big E staring down for the biggest prize. Of course, not that belt, but maybe one day I could almost envision like a custom championship for the promotion. We won't get too deep into that kind of thought though, because we're here to give our final thoughts on the Big E. What else can I really say that I haven't said already? This Big E is really damn good. Honestly, I can't say I have too many gripes. Of course, when it comes to pick fetting, we'll have to see about that. But all around, this figure is pretty solid. Maybe not solid enough for a power bomb. I don't know. We'll have to see when I go to use this figure in the Fed, because this is probably going to be the updated look for the Big E when I also get an updated look for Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. So we'll see this Big E sometime down the line here in the future. But before I ramble on too much, what would I rate this figure? I know I've given the past few of them a 7.5 out of 10, but I think this one, just for how good the attire is, how solid the figure feels in hand, how the new head scan looks. Maybe this head scan's been on a few other ones, but this is a new one for me. All around, I'm gonna say this is a good solid 8. Not much more of an upgrade, but still a pretty solid figure nonetheless. We'll say a good solid 4 out of 5 stars, 8 out of 10. I really do like this figure. I don't have anything bad to say about it, really. Of course, for me, the main reason why it gets points deducted is the few scuff marks it does have and the championship belt being a little broken. But other than that, there's not really much this Big E could have came with that would have sent this over the edge. Like, if there was an entrance jacket that he wore with this attire that night, maybe that. But other than that, I really have no complaints here. But before my camera runs out of storage, if you liked the video, feel free to like the video. If you didn't, that's alright. But if you did, feel free to subscribe. After all, it is free to subscribe. And all I can really say is what you can look forward to on this channel is plenty of action figure reviews. After all, I've got a couple more sitting over here. I also do have a new movie sitting over there too that I picked up the other night. But all around, solid figure, Oh yeah, that's right. I'm doing my outro. Haha. So, you can look forward to action figure reviews and pick fed content. I also do unboxings every now and again. There we go. Speaking a little too fast for my senses, but I'm also trying to wrap this up before I run out of storage. And on that note, you can also follow me on Instagram if you would like to. I also tend to post updates for the channel and for the pick fed on there, so if you would like to see maybe some of the action figure shots before they get released in video form, and or vice versa as far as the action figure reviews, if you would like to get notified before the bell might notify you. Sometimes I post about it on Instagram a few minutes to 30 minutes after the review goes live. So, there's that. But on that note, I'm running out of time. If you guys enjoyed, I hope you did. But if not, sorry, I guess. And on that note, have a good rest of your day. Peace out, yo.